Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, May 16th. I'm Rochelle Metzger. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, heavy rain and flooding made it a difficult and lengthy morning commute across the region. The harrowing weather led to multiple road closures and caused a number of power outages. The torrential rain also proved dangerous as several drivers in Montgomery County had to be rescued from high waters. One Pepco worker suffered burn injuries while attempting to restore power to a Bethesda apartment complex. County officials say they gave special attention to securing the Piscataway Hills neighborhood in Fort Washington. Residents there were forced to evacuate their houses over a week ago after a landslide threatened the stability of their homes.
Over the last 24 hours, we received a lot of rain in this region. We knew that rain was coming in. So what the emergency management and the folks that are working here on this slope did yesterday was we removed some more trees. We did some water diversion on this slope, and we were happy today after the rains have stopped that there was no major slope movement. There was some minor erosion on the shoulders of the road, but by and large, the mitigation techniques that the Prince George's County government undertook before these rains worked and held, which is good news, especially for those homes that are on top of the slope.
Nicer weather is in store for us for the weekend. The forecast calls for much nicer and sunnier days. And in more somber news, funeral services were held today for a beloved local firefighter killed May 8th when his motorcycle collided with a truck in Upper Marlboro. 24-year-old Garrett Green, a career firefighter with Montgomery County, also volunteered for the Kentland Volunteer Fire Department in Prince George's. Fellow firefighter Raymond Briscoe worked with Green at both stations. He was on shift the day of the crash.
We were working that day. It was a C shift in Montgomery County, and we actually heard the call take place. We listened to it and say, "Oh, it's a tragic call," not knowing that it was one of our own until a few hours later.
Briscoe says he came today to pay his respects to a man who was both dedicated and passionate about his job.
He was a good guy, very well spoken, just all good fireman on both sides. He never had any hard feeling against anybody, so it was just a tragedy that it was this time, and we're going to miss him very much.
Green, the father of a young daughter, was not on duty at the time of the accident. The official cause of the crash remains under investigation. County police arrested a Prince George's man last night in connection with the death of his 3-year-old son. Officials say 38-year-old Thomas Holland took his unresponsive child to the United Medical Center. The boy was pronounced dead shortly after his arrival. His death was ruled a homicide after autopsy and toxicology tests revealed high levels of cocaine, acetaminophen, and codeine in the child's system. Holland is charged with first-degree child abuse and manslaughter. Well, one day after Governor O'Malley signs the Fairness for All Marylanders Act into law, a state lawmaker is pushing to stop the measure from taking effect. Senate Bill 212, also referred to as the bathroom bill, prohibits discrimination against transgender people when it comes to housing, employment, credit, and the use of public facilities. Delegate Neil Parrott wants to put the bill to referendum and let the voters decide in the November general election. Parrott, who chairs MDPetitions.com, has launched a petition drive to get the measure on the ballot. More than 18,000 valid signatures are needed by May 31st, and then 56,000 more by the end of June to be successful. Otherwise, the law will take effect on October 1st. Well, good news for commuters concerned about traffic congestion and pedestrian safety when they travel around Prince George's County. Today, local, state, and federal leaders braved the rain to break ground on an enhancement project at the Branch Avenue Metro Station in Suitland. And they say that's just the start. Officials also announced $250 million in state and federal funding for 7 priority transportation projects to begin this year across the county.
Ground on one of those projects, a $37 million investment to improve access here at the Branch Avenue Metro Station. And this is one of the several phases that we undertook in order to increase access and capacity here.
There are 7 projects throughout Prince George's County that the Transportation Trust Fund is going to help us do. And some great project, Conti Road, which is a Conterra project up there, but it's going to help us with our University Town Center project. It's going to help us with Suitland. It's going to have Branch Avenue, Largo, where the hospital is going to go. So this.
Officials say the projects will mean more than 2,300 new local construction jobs. You're watching CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.